All right, guys. It's Thursday. Um, so yesterday we had the remote day. You were working at home. Um, we're going to get started. We reviewed quite a bit um, before we hit this. So if you're still at home, you missed a decent review. I'm going to get into the distributive property here. This is probably the most important property that we have and the most difficult one because there's a lot of different ways to apply it. Um, I'm not going to use this up top. We're actually going to just get right into the vocabulary here, okay? So let's pull that in a little bit and let's get started. The distributive property allows us to multiply each term inside, okay, parentheses, by the number outside the parentheses. So we're actually going to work out of the order of the operations. We're going to kind of work backwards. So algebraically, we would say this would be A times the quantity of B plus C. Well, we can distribute this through, and we can say A times B plus A times C. And it also works with subtraction, right? So this is one of the properties that we have with subtraction. We can also say A times B minus A times C, okay? Be careful with your signs when you multiply integers, okay? So when they're talking about positive and negative numbers is what integers are, okay? All right, so let's slide down here. Each of the four members of the Robinson family ordered a drink. D is drink is two slices of a drink is D, two slices of pizza is P, and ice cream is cone is C. Okay, so they ordered two slices of pizza. All right, so there they are. So how can I show this? All right, well, if there's two slices, I can just kind of distribute this through like so. All right, so how many sodas do we have? We have four, and we're going to call those D for drinks, right? And then how many pizzas do we have? Well, 4 times 2 is 8P. And then how many cones? Remember, the coefficient is 1, is 4C. Okay, a little bit confusing, but it will clear up here in just a minute. Okay. All right, use the area model below to distribute. Okay, so if we want the area of a rectangle, its area is base times height, right? So we would say 5 times 3, right, is 15x plus, if we want the area of this piece right here, it would be 5 times 2, which is 10. That is the area of this. We don't know what x is. It's a variable. So they could be anything that they want, okay? But if we found out, if we were given what x would be, we would multiply that by 15 and add it to 10. Let's try that again. The first rectangle is 7 times x, which is 7x. Okay, and since that's a negative, I'm going to put a minus there. And the second rectangle is 7 times 9, which is 63. So the area of the entire thing is 7x minus 63. I don't know what x is again, okay? And it's a little bit different. You see, when we combine like terms before, they all had to be the same. Well, when you multiply, you're allowed to multiply unlike terms, okay? And that is a big difference there, okay? So this is a little bit confusing, But again, let's go back. I took 5 times 3 and got 15x, and 5 times 2 is 10, and I put a plus because it was a positive. Now, over here it was 7 times x, which is 7x, and 7 times 9, which is a negative, that's why it was a minus, is 63. All right, let's flip the page here. Okay. All right, so next up, okay, we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of this lesson here, okay? We're going to distribute a number that is outside the parentheses with numbers that are inside. So we're going to go ahead and distribute through. And what I like to do is draw lines. So expanded form is 2 times x plus 2 times 6. Simplified is 2x plus 12. Again, we're allowed to multiply unlike terms, but we are not allowed to add unlike terms. So I can't combine that 2x and 12 because they are not like terms. Okay? Let's try this again. Expanded form is 7 times 5 plus 7 times p. Distribute through. So that is 35 plus 7p. And that is simplified. We can't take it anymore. Okay? All right, so go ahead and pause the video and you try the next two, 5 and 6. Expanded form is 8 times 7. Now it's a minus 8 times g. Okay. Now again, I like to draw those lines to help me remember. So 8 times 7 is 56, minus 8 times g is 8g. That is simplified. Okay. Down here is 12r, all right, and 12 times 9. So it would be 12, and we can write multiplication like that, minus 12 and 9. So that really is the same as that, right? So 12 times r is 12r, and 12 times 9 is 108. Constant coefficient variable. Nothing has changed. The only thing that's changed is now we're distributing through where we can multiply unlike terms. Okay? All right. So again, I would say pause the video and do those 3, and then check it with mine when you're done. Okay? All right, so now they're giving us a coefficient in front of the variable. So it's 5 times 3x plus 5 times 10. 5 times 3x is 15x. 5 times 10 is 50. That is simplified. This is expanded form. That is simplified. When it's easy like this, we could probably just multiply it through. 3 times x is 3x, and 3 times 4 is 12. The next one, 12 and 6. 12 times 6 is 72, and 12 times 2 is 24, and bring your x along for the ride. I highly recommend you draw those lines because you will forget to distribute through the second number. Okay, so how are we feeling so far? Are you feeling pretty good about this? Distributive property. This is just the start of it. All right, there's a lot of different ways to apply this. Okay, all right, next up. Mrs. Wetzel wrote 3 problems on the board and asked her students to identify which one was incorrect. Circle the example that has been distributed incorrectly, and then write the correct answer. Okay. Well, 4 times 12 is 48. 4 times 5, that's good. So that checks, right? 6 times 3 is 18, and 6 times 2 is 12g. That checks. But look here. 7 times 9 is 63, and 7 times 8 is not 8k. So this is the 1, so it should be 63 minus 56K, right? They forgot to go through that second number. And by drawing those numbers, it will help you remember to do that. All right, number 11. Which of the following has two equivalent expressions? Okay, so which has two equivalent ones? All right, well, let's see what we have here. Well, let's see here. The first one. Is this equivalent to that? And the answer, I think, is no, because x times 3 is 3x. You can't switch addition and multiplication with the associative property. So that is not equal. All right, no. The next one, is this equal? Is 12 times x, all right, we would get that. 12 times 3 is 36, and then 12 times x. No, all right, that does not equal that, because we would end up with 24x. See, 12 times 12 is 20. 12 times x is 12x, and 12 times x is 12x. When we added those two, we would get 24x. Here, they're only getting 12x. So, no, that does not equal it. Okay, the third one. The third one is interesting, isn't it? They forgot to distribute through the second number. So 12 times x is 12x, but 12 times 3 is 36, not 3. So that doesn't make sense either, okay? And clearly it's letter D. They distributed correctly, and if we were to simplify this, it would be that, right? So that is the correct one. So tomorrow, Friday, I will really get into the distributive property more as a good review, and we probably will do a massive review page on Friday and work on that in class with distributive property, with order of operations, with our properties of commutative, associative, identity, and inverses. Okay? But anyway, your homework for tonight is, if you flip it, is this. All right, so again, take your time, draw your lines, and see who the mystery character is. All right, but draw those lines, distribute through, and try and get a straight edge and draw your correct areas. Okay, this is the homework for Thursday. Have a good day.